Hey guys, can everybody hear me? Welcome to the 411 with Jay, and thank you for coming to join today while Cher tells us everything we want to know and answers the questions that we're going to ask, if she can, if she knows the answer. Now, if she doesn't know the answer, she's probably going to say she doesn't know the answer, but she does not know what I'm going to ask. So there might be questions where she's like, I don't know. So if that's the case, don't be like, oh my God, like she doesn't want to answer. It's not like that. She has no clue what I'm going to be asking. So let's just get that out there. Thank you for listening on the road. So yeah, I mean, she has no idea what I'm going to ask. And Lacey, I hope you feel better soon. I hope it's nothing serious. So it's going to be a tell-all. She's going to be joining us in just a couple minutes here. She's getting a cup of tea for the tea. No pun intended. And this is not meant to bash the Wells family in any way, shape, or form. This is a follow-up on a case that we have been covering since June. Okay. So we've been following this missing little girl, and we've seen nothing but, I don't even know what to say. If it's practical joke after practical joke, totally inappropriate timing on a lot of these things. And it just doesn't stop. Like the other day, they even pulled a fast one on Cher because they were mad at her. So, I mean, this is actually a lot of the questions, if not most of these questions, are case related. So this is not to, talk about their personal life or, get into that and like be like, oh my God, I can't believe they do this or live like that. That's not what this is about. This is about a case, and this is about what Cher has uncovered in her time of talking to Don and at a short time with Candace, which we know that Candace befriended her the other day only to turn around and fake her out. And not to only to fake her out with a practical joke. I mean, I use that term so loosely because that's not a practical joke. When your daughter's missing for 5 months and then you fake someone out and say that the cops are there and that they're searching for remains on your neighbor's yard. Sick. There's just nothing okay with that. Like, there's just nothing okay with that. And I just stop. It's like, do they want everyone to stop talking to them and stop looking for their little girl? Because it seems like they're working against everyone. It scared us all. You're right, Lucia. And it's not fair because a lot of us have followed this for the good of Summer and wanting to see this girl found okay, right? And then to let all the people, they don't think about others, but to let everybody who's been following this case for their little girl think that there could possibly be remains in their neighbor's pond is sick. How can you defend that? Yeah, exactly, D. Moss. No one would be saying half of the bad things they say at this juncture if it wasn't for their own behavior. Sorry, Eagle 8's going over. Not sure if you guys could hear that or not. But yeah, so that I'm just gonna leave that there. Just wanted to let you guys know she was not given a heads up. Exactly like Digger said. It's like a jack in the box. So without further ado, I want to welcome the lovely Miss Cher to the panel.
Okay, there we go. Now can you guys hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. How are you?
Okay, good. How are you?
I'm good. You sound a little down. Are you feeling all right?
No, I was just laying down. I had to make some tea. My my throat just hurts. Too much
Oh,
talking lately.
I hear you. There's a lot going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Cher for coming on. And if you guys aren't familiar with Cher, which most of you I'm sure are, I see tons of love to you in chat. We've let everybody know if you're not respectful, you're going to get blocked. Just saying that right off the bat. That's not what this is about. And like Alyssa said, no time for BS today. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Right? So I want to thank you for coming on and agreeing to be candid with me about what you've uncovered while talking to Don and Candace. I know it hasn't been easy for you.
Yeah. Oh my
And
God.
I know it's been taxing on you and the mister.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you
Can you
can't.
tell us a little bit about like what you guys have gone through personally?
I mean, well, we have there. It got really bad right before we stopped having them on our platform. Kind of when we say his mask fell off, and kind of we both had our different opinions, as if that's very clear for all to see. But I mean, it got bad. It got to the point where I was going to leave and go back to Minnesota. Like I ran out of this house, and yeah, he went looking for me, and yeah, it was dramatic, and
I'm
was a
sorry to
lot
hear
on us.
that. I am. I'm sorry to hear that because I know you're getting it from all angles, and I definitely know what that feels like. So I stand side by side with you because I know where your heart was in this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go into this trying to. I could easily get views and whatever people want to say of me. I could do that if I was doing the same thing everyone else was doing, but I don't know. I've always taken the harder route of things, and the way that I know I'm going to get the hate for it, but it doesn't mean that it's not necessarily the right thing to do either. I usually think if I'm getting that much hate and continuing, I'm doing something right. I'm doing something for some reason people don't want me to do. When I'm being told that, it's like, well, why? There's something there then, right? I'm pushing some kind of hot button that needs to be pushed if so many people want it to prevent it from being pushed, in my opinion.
Right. Gosh, there's just so much. Okay, so I was reading chat, so I got a little off. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
I'm not looking at chat either.
Okay, yeah, we're neither one of us is going to look at chat right now. We will when we're done with the questions because it's too distracting. All right, so let's get to it. Are you ready? Take a sip of your tea.
Yeah, I got.
Okay, so let's start with. There's a lot of questions about the boys, and I don't want to start there, and I'm not sure if I'm even going to go there because there's so many other questions. But we'll start out with some Don and Candace relationship questions. Okay. And I guess you can answer these. If you know, if you don't, just say, I don't know, that never came up or whatever. So the first one is, do Don and Candace sleep in the same bed in the basement? No. Okay.
They weren't in my time of talking to them. I was told, I mean, maybe sometimes she did, but no, I was told, and even her own mother would say that they don't share a bed. And that was normal prior to Summer going missing as well.
Okay, because I asked him the same thing in my interview, and he said that the only time that she didn't sleep in the bed was when she would pass out on the couch upstairs. So, yeah.
Okay, what's my opinion? She passes out on the couch. Sometimes she's been passed out on the couch as early as like 7 p.m. and he's been wide awake all hours of the night. So I'm not sure if that was just a new thing for her to do or what, but in the past 5 months, it's a very common occurrence for her to pass out on the couch, if that helps at all.
Yeah, it does. It does. Thanks for answering that. I know it's a weird question, but those of us who followed the case will know why it was asked. Did Summer sleep in her own bed? I know Don has stated many times that, she didn't, but do you know if she did?
No, it's my impression that she slept in the bed in the basement there where Don sleeps. And Don has been very candid about that from day one, and that is my understanding of it as well.
Yeah, I understood that too. Thanks for answering that. That's a little crazy. I guess everybody has their own opinions on that one. Takes a meaning of co-sleeping to a whole new level when you hear Don
Mhm.
describe it. Okay, so was Grandis asleep when Summer went missing?
That was my understanding. Um, what I had thought from Candace. Okay, so what I was told from Candace and Dawn, and other people have been told this from Candace too. I'm not sure who, but I know that there's ways to back that up too. But um, it was my understanding she was tired from the hospital trip. So I had heard that she was laying down in the camper. Dawn was at work and Grandma was laying down, so how would any of them know? It was like leave them out of it because they didn't see shit. Because after I put my mom's knee brace on, she went into the camper and she laid down.
Mm-hmm.
So
So to play off of Grandis, her injury, do you know what the injury was caused from? Why her knee was bum?
the only thing that I have gotten, oh yes, I do. She was kicked in her knee. I can't remember who kicked her, but one of the grandkids, like several months before Summer had gone missing, had kicked her in her knee, I guess, and it was bothering her ever since.
One of the kids kicked her in the knee?
Yeah, one of the kids kicked her in the knee.
Mm, okay. So do you know what Grandis is doing now? Where she is, what she's up to?
The latest I heard, she was back there with them, and I have no clue. I have only been put on like a conference call type thing with Grandis 2 times, and it was when they wanted me to cover for them, saying Grandma was not doing interviews for anyone, and that I better go clear up that it's absolutely not Grandma. That's the only time that I've been put on a conference call with her, is
Mm,
when I was asking, is that true? Is that you? I can't remember what channel was releasing that Facebook messages when they done.
I
And she was
remember
like,
that.
she said, F no, I don't do any effing interviews in 7 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's what she said?
that's exactly what, yeah, that's
Oh
what
wow.
she said. She was very upset and she was driving and Candace and Don were driving too. So she was like, well, I'm going to call you guys back later because I'm driving right now and I ain't dealing with this beep right now.
Wow. So they're all chaotic,
They're all
basically.
chaotic. And I get
Yeah.
the point that she just honestly just doesn't really care for Don. Like, it was kind of like, I mean, she was lying to them because I knew it was her talking because Candace was like, check out this. If this is her, make sure it's this picture. And I'm like, Candace, that's her picture. Like, what you're telling me is her account. It is the account that's talking. And yeah, so,
But she's saying F no, it wasn't her.
yeah, but she was saying, I better tell F, no, it wasn't her.
Did Grandis help look for Summer that night? Like when everything went down, we've never really heard what Grandis did. Like we heard that Don left and he wanted to go get off the road and he was bottlenecked in. And then, we never really heard what Grandis did. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so when I asked what was everyone doing, and they had told me he wanted to go, but the police, I couldn't really quite make clear that the police let him go. Did he go to the houses? But he wanted to go check all the drug dealers on the road. And the Candace and Grandma and the boys and everyone were just kind of there. They kind of had everybody separated and was talking to everybody. Um, and then I just remember Don told me that they kept yelling at them to, you got to be off your phones. Like, we are having serious conversations here. Stay off your phones while you're talking to us.
Wow. Okay. Um, let's see. Okay, so let's stay on that day that Summer went missing and let's talk about Candace and Hunter.
Hmm.
Do you know, I guess a more broad question would be, do you know what Candace's relationship and the extent of her relationship with Hunter was or is?
So it's my understanding that she will say no, nothing happened. Don will tell me, come on, Cher, get real, use your head, no way. But they can never like kind of clear up why did Hunter post. I guess like I had asked years ago, Hunter had a post, I think in like 2017. I don't even remember, but there was a Facebook post about Hunter with his girlfriend, and it was Candace. There was some rumors, and I had asked them because there was rumors with Candace um, uh, messing around with a minor female as well. And I just kept getting told, come on, that's nasty, no way. And the first thing out of their mouth, though, is she's married. It's not that the age is wrong or inappropriate. It's, come on now, we're married. She has a husband, I have a wife, like, we're married. Come on now, use your head. That's stupid. It's never, come on, that's gross. That's like, no.
Right, like it's immoral.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the same reaction you got from Robin about Don's affair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was disgusting and disturbing coming from a church member.
So she really was, I don't mean to get off topic, but she really was, Robin really was like just focused on the fact that it wasn't that big of a deal overall. Like him having an affair, even if she was 40, like it wouldn't have really been a big deal.
Her exact words were, well, come on, Cher, let's say it's true. Is 17 so bad? Is 17 really a bad number? It's not as though she's like 12 or 13 or something. And my husband looked at me like, that is freaking weird. Because first of all, even if you don't think 17 and 56 is bad, I don't care what you think the age group. Like, to me, what
I just spit my pop out. Oh my God.
What my first thinking was, is I wasn't even thinking about the 17. I was thinking is, how is she so okay with adultery, period, when you are a church member and Sabbath teacher? Like, shouldn't you be saying that that's wrong? And
Absolutely.
She's like, let's get real. We know they're on drugs and they're drinking all the time, right? And her, her laugh. And yeah, that's what she said. She was like, and let's be real, Cher. Is 17 really so bad if that's true? Is 17 really so bad? And I'm like, well, I mean, no, I don't know. But I just was so in shock of she's saying that, but she's also condoning, because Candace and him are married. So why is it so okay? Why is it funny to her? Why is she laughing and saying that 17 and 56 is not that inappropriate? I just never understood that. And yes, you all can call Mr. Cher a liar if you want to, but he heard that conversation and he was mind blown by that.
I can imagine. I would have been too. Okay, so she did. She didn't think the 17 was an alarming number. That's interesting.
She did not think that was alarming. She didn't even think it was a problem that he would have a mistress, let alone she was 17.
Gosh, and I would think that the church would be encouraging them to stop the substances and, live on the straight and narrow. That's what it's all about, right? Being a better person is why most people go to church.
I kind of get the feeling the church wants them the way they are, because I know that there's been certain situations where the church has been right there, sewn to their butts. I mean, you don't see an interview that's either not at the church or with there's at least one or two church people present every time there's an interview. Now, that is not saying when they get drunk or whatever, or hop on a live in the middle of the night. No, church people are not present there. But when they do those big interviews, yeah, there's always
things that are
present.
Planned, right?
Mm-hmm. Always.
So let's talk a little bit more about them being present, because I had a screenshot sent to me yesterday of Candace down at the water at the lake with Chris McDonough, and Robin is in the background. And she's wearing the same dress that she wore in the interview with Chris McDonough that he just released.
I told everybody that Robin was there that day. Nobody heard me. I mean, go back in my lives. I literally told everybody that the church was there with Robin, or with Candace that day with Chris McDonough. I've been telling everybody things that they're all like, oh, like this and this. If you go back and you re-listen from the beginning of all of my content with the Wells, it's been said. So I don't know if people just really don't listen to me. I figured at least the haters listen and would have grabbed that up, but I said that. I told everybody the church was there with her. They're the ones who had that shirt quick made, the cross. I mean, the church is really the one that is doing what the parents should be doing, and that's alarming, especially with learning more in that church, like the things I sent you yesterday, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very weird. And then how Robin can't even keep track, because we've heard different stories, and I've heard different stories on who was there first. Because I was told Robin, was there first or whatever, but now we're being told David Dodson was there, but I'm not sure if they both showed up at the same time or what, but there's differing stories and inconsistencies coming from even the sheriff himself, but definitely from church people, and it's weird.
It is weird because none of that should be like up for a guess.
No.
Who was there first? They should know that.
Yeah.
And the David Dobson thing, that's a whole nother discussion. I know I've read a lot of comments about him lately.
Yeah.
And it is very strange, the whole church thing. You got me in a rabbit hole last night because I went on there on the thing you sent me, and then from there I went on their actual website.
Mm.
Yeah, the missing child drill
Mm-hmm.
is very disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if their church has done one of those since Summer started going there?
I'm not sure if they have done one at that location yet, but I will tell you the person who wrote that drill, that risk management and media drill person, that is who the Wells are working with right now. That is who is acting as their management right now. That person.
Okay, so just to clarify, they have like a risk management department within their church, like overall, right?
Uh-huh.
And then this man who's their manager running the show for them
Mm-hmm.
is the guy over this risk management program of missing children. Now, I have to tell you, I grew up Catholic. My parents made me go to church every Sunday, okay? I mean, until a certain age. I never once in anything that I ever went to in church ever heard anything about missing children. Ever.
Me either.
That was something they taught you at school, about stranger danger. But to
Mm-hmm.
have a drill, and I was reading the drill, the rundown, what they do is they pick a child to be the child that runs and plays hide and seek. So they
Mm-hmm.
get with the parents. Yeah, they go through the steps, right? So they get with the parents and they say, hey, can your child be the child in this missing child drill? And they tell the kid to go hide somewhere and don't come out. And then the adults of the church go into this missing child drill mode, and they have all of these protocols. And they keep it within them unless the kid is in grave danger. They keep it within their little process of reporting, so to speak. So they have like a breakdown of who gets contacted for what. And it's all within their realm. So it's very crazy to me. Now back to Robin being at the park that day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just that, it said she was there. She was there.
He was
So
there.
I'm gonna show you guys the screenshots that were sent to me because it's awesome. I mean, I never saw this. I don't know how I missed it, but let me share this picture. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but she's clearly, can you guys see it? Oh, I got to add it to the stream. There she is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if you listen to Chris McDonough's interview, like other people have emailed me too, but yeah, you can see where she actually goes to point to Robin and her daughter and goes to talk. She's comparing and she says, yeah, it would have been like, and then Candace says, and she goes to point and she's pointing at Robin's daughter and she goes, oh, I better not say the name. And Chris McDonough goes, yeah, don't say the name. Don't say their name.
Mm-hmm. This is also where she took the picture. Sorry, my dog's going nuts. Hold on a second.
And Grandma was back there too. I can't remember who emailed me that stuff too. You're probably in chat, but yeah, you're on point.
I apologize. My dog hates the UPS guy, and he
Oh,
just walked. He's here, so she's freaking out. So sorry about that. But yeah, she was right there, and people are saying, she was there for support or whatever.
mm-hmm.
But it's odd.
Mm-hmm.
So was Grandis there too at the?
Yes.
Everybody went. So
Grandma
EquiSearch
was
is
there.
there searching
Mm-hmm.
while they're doing an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
It's very weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so back to the question. Sorry, we got a little off topic there. Okay, so back to Summer. Do you know why Summer's hair was shaved?
So they've given me so many different stories. I don't know which one it is. I have no idea. Because I've been told the lice, and then I've been told because I was very upfront with them, and I'm like, I have a daughter who is a princess, and I have a daughter who's very much a tomboy, but she is still, she's in the mix, but she would still never go chop all her hair off. Like my daughter's so tomboy, she hunts she bear hunts on the ground, like she's a tough girl, but she would never go shave all her hair off, right? Um, so I don't know. I don't really know what to believe. I could believe it was hot. I could believe it was lice, and I think that's finally what I just kept telling myself was, I don't know, maybe they had lice, and then I just didn't keep asking that question for that rest of the time because I wasn't getting anywhere. I was just getting totally different answers.
So you got the lice, and then did you get the story that she wanted to have her hair like the
Yeah.
boys?
Yep. And then Dawn had told Mr. Cher that she had tried to cut her hair herself at one point too, but it's like, well, I kind of understand that, but it's just too many. It's too many. Like, which one is it then? Did she try to cut her hair? Because parents, we know that happens. So that
Oh
would be
yeah.
understandable and be like, oh, okay. I mean, we would get that. Anyone would understand that, really. But
Yeah, for
to
sure.
have three different reasons why was it shaved, that it's obviously that's a red flag because you don't even know what to say and you're giving me too many stories and it's only going to be one.
Mm-hmm. I guess Robin said in her interview that she asked them about the hair and they said it was a cute summer cut.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I consider a cute summer cut for a little girl like shoulder length. Your little girl has long hair and then you cut it to her shoulders. It's like a summer
mm-hmm.
cut. But at any rate, we're not talking about normal, regular, everyday people, are we?
No.
Okay, so let's see here. We do know, I know I had this come up and you've answered this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Was Summer actually registered to start school?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. She did have her vaccines and
Mm-hmm.
all of that.
Yeah. And even the school officials came out and said that they had that all on record too. The only reason they don't show it is because it is a privacy issue or privacy law, and you could blank out certain things. Don did tell me he was going to post it, but I said, okay, that's great, but never pushed him to. I told him how he could blank out certain things to not dox or whatever. But yeah, I don't think he ever did post it, which is fine. He doesn't have to. But yeah, I don't
Mm. Okay. So there was a really good question that popped up in chat, and I want to ask you while we're still on this.
know.
Because I want to go back to Robin and her being there all the time. Because a lot of people are saying, oh my God, we have 666 in chat. Someone join or leave.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Get off there. Oh my God. It's like stuck there, Cher. What's going on? Okay, so back to the haircuts. Now, I want to share with you like a theory that I have that I've discussed with other people at times. And I still come back to this theory about the hair.
Mm.
So, because Candace also had this weird, like, short haircut. And we know from like previous pictures, she had long hair.
Yeah.
Even last fall, she had long hair. So, all of this shortness in the girl's hair is fresh,
Yeah.
newer. So, my thought was, I know Dawn says that she was not jealous of Summer or the attention that maybe Dawn gave Summer. But is it possible that, she did that to make Summer not look so girly, not to be so, I don't know. You just hear her in their interview together. They go on and on about, oh, she loved, women that are pretty and all
Hmm.
this stuff. But pretty women don't typically have their head shaved.
Right.
So that stuck out to me. And then it's like, did like Candace, was she forced to like cut her hair? Like,
So I've always thought that too. I've always thought that myself.
okay, so I'm not too far off base.
No, I think no. I will always wonder that no matter what I'm being told by any of them because it's very odd.
Mm-hmm. It is odd. And it's almost like, well, if she's not going to have the long hair, then neither are you.
Yeah.
But it could have been lice, and she may have shaved her head because of lice too. But I thought it was interesting. The oldest boy always has hair.
I did see actually he did give me a picture. I probably have somewhere on my phone. He did send me a picture when we were talking about that whole situation. There is one photo where the whole family, her hair is cut, his hair is buzzed, the boys' hair is buzzed, and her hair is buzzed too. So I did see one picture where everybody had buzzed heads, but I don't know when was it from or anything like that.
So the oldest boy did too?
Yep, they all did.
Oh, okay. Because everything that I've seen, he always had longer hair, and the younger ones had the buzz cuts. So maybe there's nothing to it. I don't know. Questions people have,
Mm-hmm.
We all wonder about all this stuff, as stupid as some of it may seem. Do you know, did Don shave his head or just the sides?
I do have a picture. He shaved his whole head.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay, so are Don and Candace legally married?
I
Because
do believe they are.
Candace, she uses Bly, or did.
I think, yeah, she uses Candace Wells Bly, but I think it's because they didn't go through when you get married, you still have to put forth and go do a name change. But I do believe they had a courthouse wedding. Um,
Have you ever seen pictures of their wedding?
I have, and their Grandis was there. It was in a courthouse. Candace was wearing a big white hat and wearing a flower dress. All of the kids were there.
Wow.
Summer was, I think, a baby, or I don't know when it was, but there was a baby there. Someone was holding a baby, but yeah,
So they haven't been married for 12 years then, since they had the boys.
no, because the boys were there at the wedding.
That's that picture. I've seen that picture of them all standing and they're dressed up.
Yeah,
That's
that's
their
their
wedding?
wedding. Yeah, that's the courthouse wedding.
Stop.
That's
Stop
my
it.
understanding.
Oh my God. What's
She
the
had
Trent house? Somebody in chat said Don said it was at the Trent house. What's that?
because I saw a posting with that picture, and Grandma was like, something about your wedding. Happy I was able to be there for your special day or something like that. But yeah, that's their wedding picture.
Wow. Okay. So Lori says, have you all heard that babysitter account? She said Summer cried about her hair. I don't know who the babysitter is. I never heard she had one.
I didn't know she had a babysitter either. That would be completely news today.
Yeah. That's news to me. Did you ever hear that Robin was supposed to babysit for Candace and Don?
I'm not sure if I never heard if she was supposed to do that, but I do know that Robin was over there a lot with her daughter. Because one of my conversations with Robin, she told me that her husband was upset that she was bringing their daughter over there so much. After Summer went missing and they saw it on the news, the husband was like, Beach Creek, you didn't tell me that's where they lived. And I guess was upset at
Oh,
her for
yeah.
bringing their daughter over there so much. So
Because it's not a good area.
because it's not a good area, I guess.
Wow. So I wonder if Robin and her husband don't see eye to eye on the situation. Does her husband go to the church as well with her?
I have no idea.
I mean, I've
I
watched all
think
the videos and I didn't see him
I
except
think he is.
one prayer vigil he was at with her.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he goes to the church. We just don't maybe see him in the videos, but I just don't think he goes to everything. He's probably working.
Right, right. And they just have the one child, right? The daughter.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know if wait, hold on. Okay, so do you know anything about the blue bin by the
No,
trail or the blue what did he not the blue bin, the generator, the blue generator?
no, people keep asking if that's like a well or something, or but
You don't know what that is. And
I
that's
have
how
no.
did they not know? Like Don said that he did not know that trail was there.
Mm, that I don't know why he said that because that's not true. And if you go back and listen to other interviews, we know that's not true, that he didn't know that. Because there's when Candace does the one and Chris McDonough asks, where is that one trail? And Candace was like, I didn't know that was a trail or something like that.
Which is weird because their kids' toys are strewn along that trail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't. Um,
Okay. So that trail leads down to um, Ben Hill Road. And apparently that's the trail we found out her scent was picked up on. And he says he didn't know it was there, but his kids played on it.
mm-hmm.
Okay. So, all right. How about this question? Will CPS ever release the kids back to Don and Candace? Do you think?
I mean,
Like, has Don ever told you what the stipulations were exactly when CPS took them, or was he mute on that point?
yeah, he's got to fix up the certain things in the house and make their rooms. And then he said that they had to clean up, but I don't see them. They're not making the moves that they have to, even with the little bit of the housework they've done. They
Mhm.
only did that because they wanted it to look better before they went on
Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil and all of these other places. Like they knew that's why they held off and only did YouTube for so long and didn't do that, is because they wanted to try and fix up things before they did that kind of stuff. Like I knew
Mm.
that this was always going to be in their cards, but that they wanted to make the situation look a little bit better before it went on national TV and stuff like that.
So they were already planning on and talking to you about going on national
Yeah.
TV?
Oh yeah, they were telling me do it up, get us on any show or whatever. Yeah. But
Really?
then he kept denying shows, so it's like, well, he denied Dr. Phil. He could have went on Dr. Phil for months before he actually did, but he kept
I
saying
would
no,
be
no,
on
no,
every
no.
show I could.
Yeah,
Every show
but
I could.
no, he had to wait to make sure that the house was all done up good and whatever. And I can understand that, I guess, but it like we already saw the house, and so
Yeah,
it
it's
could be
kind of
more
too
about
late for
getting it out of
that.
there. Yeah.
Little too late, Don.
Hmm.
That probably should have been done before your kids got taken away, honestly. But I mean, so it's interesting to think though, Cher, that possibly if that's all that they gave them as far as stipulations right now, that they could complete that checklist and possibly if that's all there is that's holding it back, they could possibly get them back. We
It
don't know.
could. I mean, it's so hard because I don't know, would the Child Protective Services, in reality, their job is to try and make the home better so that the kids can always go back home. My situation was never good, but my mom did get 3 chances with me, even though they know it shouldn't. We know that, yeah, it's the CPS job, yeah, especially with older kids, to maybe try to get them replaced at home. However, because this is such a high profile case and we all see and witness what's going on, I'm not sure if that is an option for them or
Right.
not. They might be concerned, like, they clearly want to be public figures, right? So there's always going to be some kind of issue around them or at that house with them boys. Will those boys ever be safe at that location? I don't
Mm.
know.
And they may be able to or they may be telling them that's what they need to do, but there may be more stipulations
I
when
can
they
tell
do
you right
complete
now that they're
those.
not going to be allowed back if they aren't clean for a certain amount of time. They'd have to be passing drug tests, and they're not doing any of that. They're getting drunk every night all over social media. They're not doing what they need to do at all to get those kids back.
I've actually got the picture we were just talking about, and I've seen this. I'm going to actually share it, but I've seen it. I thought it was Easter because of the hats. I'm not going to lie. It looks like they look like Easter hats. But here, I'm going to share it with you guys. You can't make this shit up. Here it is.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Summer's a little tiny baby.
Yep.
I had no idea that was the wedding. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we've heard lately that the talk is that the church wanted or spoke to Don about kind of having a compound on the Wells property. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, it's come up a few times. It's been laughed off. It's never really been like fully denied, but more laughed off. And yeah, so stuff like always biblical, like when we die, do we take all this with it? Like always, like I can't even repeat. It just gets very weird and biblical when I ask certain questions. But yeah, I mean that definitely was a thing or is a thing. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, they wanted some like communal farm and garden or something, or I don't know if they wanted. I mean, I just call it. They wanted whatever you what do you call it? They wanted a compound, is what I've been saying over there.
That's odd.
Hmm.
Kathy, I'm not judging them on their wedding pic. It just doesn't look like a wedding to me. I thought it was Easter. I was being dead serious. I'm not trying to judge. I mean, those look like freaking Easter hats. Do they not? Well,
Yeah,
maybe Grandis's doesn't. It's like a cowboy hat, but Candace's does. And Little
yeah, I
Summer.
saw that. I think that was on Grandma's one of Grandma's page years ago, and it was so happy I could be there for your special day or something. So I had always assumed that that was the wedding picture then.
Yeah, it is weird. They don't look unionized. Like he's got his arm around her. She's got her arms around the kids. They're never engaged.
I've
It's
been
such a
telling
weird.
everyone that it's not really a marriage. It seems to me like more of like a business deal, if you will.
It's very, very cold. But could it be because of their, like, especially Candace's past with, you know,
Yeah,
abuse
hmm,
and stuff like that, that you put that guard up, right? You don't.
definitely.
Mhm. Like maybe affection doesn't come very easily for people. I mean, I'm not.
Hmm.
I don't come from an abusive childhood, but I would have to imagine that you would definitely have a guard up, and you wouldn't be very affectionate, or it wouldn't be easy for you to trust and be affectionate. It
Hmm.
would be something you'd have to overcome. Oh my God, Michael Slater's asking who every player is. Okay, could Summer, we talked about accidents in this case, and we've talked about, maybe falling down the stairs. We've talked about maybe the bikes, that there was a bike accident outside. But someone had asked if there was a possibility that Summer could have gotten into pills.
Yeah, I've asked all kinds of questions like that, and I get the same thing is no, and that he trusts Candace. He doesn't believe that maybe because I even said maybe like an accident with Candace. Maybe, did she fall? Did she fall down the hill? Did she fall down the stairs? Anything happen? And we did discuss like gummies and stuff like that, or her getting into maybe grandma's prescription, and it's always very quickly answered with no, no, no. Candace would never lie. No, no, no.
Like, could Summer have thought that pills were candy? Because, like, grandma gave her a piece of candy. I don't know. I mean, things like that happen. And I just think that these people are the type of people, even if there was an accident, they don't trust law enforcement. And I don't think that they think that law enforcement would believe that it was an accident, even if it was. What do you think of that?
Mm. I don't know. I don't know what to say to that
No?
because I still don't. I don't necessarily believe everything they tell me, right? So,
Right.
uh,
Yeah. What's your
I
gut
don't know
tell
what to
you?
believe in that. My gut tells me that yeah, I still think. Well, now with the whole like, I don't understand with Robin lying in the truck and everything. So now I'm thinking a little bit like maybe involvement of the church or whatever. But I did. A big part of me wonders if if there wasn't an accident. Like I've gone to Don a million times, and Candace knows. If there was an accident, just confess. Go in and just confess, and have your daughter have a proper burial. Like just go do the right thing.
Mhm.
Um, you guys are so religious, and I get met with the same thing all the time: is no, 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 no accidents with Candace, whatever. And I don't necessarily believe that. Even just on Monday night before he started his new anger trip on me, I said, I really hope that you get the answers for your daughter one day. And I'm proud of you for finally going around and talking. But I really hope Candace will tell the truth one day. And I still stand by. I don't know if it's she gave it Summer up to someone or helped plan an event or just willingly turned a blind eye, whatever. But I mean, absolutely, I think Candace done something. Either had her an accident or she knows who come and got her. I don't know. That's all I guess I can really say at this point because
Mhm.
it's so chaotic every day.
And I'm sure your mind changes all the time when you think about different things you've heard and things pop into your head and you're like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Almost every time you even have a conversation with them, it's like, what the heck? And that's why it's so draining too. And we don't get anywhere with this case because I don't get it. It almost feels like this case was made as some huge distraction for whatever. He gave me hope one time because in one of my live streams, he had made it sound like he was visiting Summer. And some people picked up on that, but he was talking about Summer like her hair is a little longer now. I think he even said, like, we saw Summer, her hair is a little longer now. She's a little bit taller or whatever. It was like a 3-second thing. And I thought to myself, holy shit, what is he talking about? But then my husband's like, no, he's just like reminiscing, like he's like thinking like if he saw Summer now, her hair would be a little longer, she would be a little taller. But that is not what I heard. So I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
Did any of you guys hear that live where he said that stuff? I know some people did because
I
they
did.
picked it apart.
So, going forward to just, going back and forth with Don and everything,
Mm.
um, did you get the impression that they have all the same vehicles that they had on June 15th? Have they gotten rid of
Um,
any vehicles or he always
I
had that white truck, that little white truck?
I think that's always been his work truck. I think so.
So that truck was supposedly at the house that day and he had the Subaru
Yeah.
and that's why they took Grandis's truck because that little truck wouldn't have fit them all, right?
Hmm. Yeah. But yeah.
And speaking of trucks, I know Robin's truck has been a big talking point this past week to the point where her cage was rattled and she went live or made a video and put it on Don Wells official like 4 hours before an interview with Chris McDonough from July was released.
Yeah, a few
Okay.
hours after, yeah, like the day after I say about her having the truck and right before Chris McDonough does it. So she was kind of getting like caged in between, I think, the two of us.
Yeah, she had to say something. So we looked it up on Been Verified last night,
Hmm.
based on that license plate. And it looks like the truck was titled in, I think, August of 2020, and then again in October of 2020.
Hmm. Yeah.
So we don't know who they're registered to. It doesn't give us the information, but that is odd that it switched hands in Tennessee 3 times in
Hmm.
the past year.
Yeah.
And Robin says that they'd have to be a special kind of stupid to purchase the same truck that the cops were looking for. My question for Robin is, how does she know that that's not the truck they're looking for?
Yeah.
How is she so sure about that?
Hmm. I
Interesting.
I think that they were planning on not having us know that, but painting that truck quickly. But too many people found out ahead of time.
Yeah, someone flew over with a drone and kind of kiboshed that plan because she already talked about painting it. Someone obviously would have painted it by now. Isn't that what she said?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, and a lot of people want to say, "Oh, Robin's just ditzy. She's just ditzy."
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No, she's not. I don't believe that for a second.
No, you guys, some people they bank on playing stupid and ditzy like that. And they're not. They're playing you. They aren't as stupid as they're leading you to believe. It's a way that's how some people manipulate. They are not, well, I'm just some silly person. I don't know anything. I'm just blonde, pretty face. Don't mind me. That's it's no.
Can I
No.
tell you what I saw in the McDonough interview with her?
Yeah.
I saw her like acting that flighty way that she does, like with her smile, and then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden she got really serious.
Yep.
Her total demeanor changed. It was like night and day, and I'm like, this chick knows exactly what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah, I fully believe that too.
And the fact that she said, like Shelby in chat just said, she made it a point to say, I don't remember what I said in that interview, so like don't hold it
Uh-huh.
against me. Emotions were high.
Just
Yikes.
like she told me that her husband was acquaintances with Don B, the YouTuber, and then all of a sudden, 6 weeks later, she doesn't remember telling me that. So then you ask Don B, and he's like, "Well, yeah, I'd have to know her husband's name. I'm not sure. Maybe if I knew his name, I'm not sure." So he can't even deny it. So again, here we have this church lady that's just so sweet and innocent who's lying, straight up lying.
Um all right, I have to show this damn picture again because people are going on and on about it. Sorry, Cher. But Candace and her mother both commented on that photo. It is a wedding photo.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that we have to do this, but um here's the proof. It's
Yeah, I knew
clearly
it.
says Candace Harrer. I'm glad I was there for my daughter's wedding. Love ya all. And Candace says, love you, mom. Glad y'all was here too. So can we drop the fact that it wasn't their wedding? Please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know. They all just think Cher loves to lie, but
On and
yeah.
on and on and on. Okay. So the another question I had for you is the boys' bikes. Their motorbikes. Are
Hmm.
they still at the house, and have they ever mentioned them to you? Did they ever even say anything to you about the boys' bikes, even in
No,
passing?
no. I mean, we've talked about how they've ridden them, but I that has never come up. Like, are they still there? Can I see them or anything like that? No.
Because I noticed those bikes in the background when they did their interview with WJHL, where they both sat outside. Those two of those camel bikes are in the background, and it just made me think of Melissa Wise' theory about the bike accident.
Mm.
I wondered if they still had those bikes. Those poor boys. Gosh. Okay. Let's see. We're almost done. You've done so well. Does anybody have any like questions? You can put them in chat, and then when I'm done with these, I'll ask her a few. You got a few more minutes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. You guys, these are all my team's questions. I think I've covered almost all of them.
What was Cher saying about the whole thing being a distraction, please? I think that everywhere hasn't been a distraction in this case. Everything people have focused on has been distractions, really, even from law enforcement. But I mean, I do have conspiracies on this case. Like I said, there's only one question I cannot get Dawn to answer from me anytime I ask it, and it is your daughter being held for political and monetary gain? That is the only thing in the last 5 months I cannot get an answer. I don't get a yes or a no or F you, Cher, or are you crazy? I get no response ever to that question. So it makes me have conspiracies.
This whole case makes me have conspiracies. Because not only do we have a 5-year-old who's missing for 5 months, right? But we have like this weird cultist church involved. We have people that are so hard to read because of their background. You know, it's hard to even decipher if they're telling the truth or not because they're so hard to read. I can't even, everything's working against us in this case. And you've done wonderful trying to decipher everything that you found out. Let me just say
Are
that.
you going to show or like do a video at all on that, the risk management drill?
I would like to, because I really, like I said, I got into this rabbit hole and I think that would be a good topic for your secondary channel is to just start dissecting this church. Videos, articles. I'll help you if you want. Because I got into it
do it
last
on the
night.
other channel. It's not monetized. I can't get in trouble over there. And people can't say I'm doing it for the money in the super chat, son.
It's really interesting. You know, I mean, I don't know much about that religion, but the things that I did search, just quick Google searches, there's a lot of people who've left that religion and have testimonies, and their videos are on YouTube too.
You have to. Okay, so I'm definitely, there's going to be a time where I'm going through this church, and because it does all tie in, you know how I am with the damn Freemasonry and Illuminati, the establishment. Like, this is just a branch of that. I'm kind of tying in Watt's stuff to this, and it's wild, but yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. How you're tying in Watts to this.
It's just wild.
Everybody loves us teaming up. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Cotton Candy Tits is like, I love this.
She said cotton candy tits and cotton candy boobs.
I know you say boobs. I always say tits.
You're so grown up.
You're so reserved. What happened? We switched roles. Oh, talk about conspiracies. The Gabby case. Oh my God. We can talk about that too. We have lots of things we can talk about. As soon as things calm down and we have like free evenings to breathe, we can definitely do this. And if you guys could share Cher's channels, both of them. Charlene says, I enjoyed your other channel last night, Cher.
Oh gosh, thank you. Yeah, that went, we don't know what happened. We were going to do Illuminati establishment open discussion, but there's been so much craziness going on. It went to, we ended up DJing, Mr. Cher sang, I rapped Eazy-E, give me that nut. It was a mess, but it was fun. Now people are calling it Cherapy.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. We need some Cherapy in our lives. Do you think that they sold her or whatever and didn't expect it to become a national case, and now they have to act like she was taken?
A part of me thinks that, and I'll tell you why. The only reason I believe the selling part and Candace selling her, and that would mean like, okay, well, somebody in the church, that ties all of that together. But also, you can say you believe or not believe in psychics, but you cannot tell me that Reverend Donna doesn't know what she's doing. And there hasn't been a time that woman's been wrong. And so when I don't necessarily feel everything she's saying is true, but I'm not dumb, I'm not blind. I do more so believe the selling, maybe that the church is involved or whatever, because that all ties in. Is Robin the Giselle or whatever, Maxine, to the whole thing? Like, I don't know. And she just plays silly, innocent, sweet. I don't know. I have no idea. But in situations like that, there's always going to be that woman that the girls and women trust. And Robin fits that role.
I agree. They always have that woman, just like, some of these kidnappings you hear about, like the one that was, what was her name? JC Duggard? Not, yeah, JC
Yeah.
Duggard.
Mm-hmm.
They had the woman, the guy was married, and she was the one that lured, that was part of luring her away.
Mm-hmm.
So they use those women, to help, be that mothering kind of grooming role. It's disgusting.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, so there's that, but I'm on, is the church involved? Is this a selling thing? Or did Candace do something in a rage, and husband is helping cover it up? So those are the two that I teeter totter on, depending on what news comes out, what somebody tells me, and that's what I go back and forth on.
I think Clarion River Yacht Club kind of summed it up. Which one is it? She was kidnapped, abducted by aliens, overdosed, fell down the stairs, mountain lion, bear, church sold her. Candace did something, and other 50 plus theories. It's about right. So sad. Summer deserves better.
Yeah. But
Amber,
I don't think Summer didn't get better from the get-go, in my opinion, because I will never understand why was the Amber Alert made with a picture that didn't even look like Summer when she got gone. To me, there's something that happened from the very beginning that's why Don he keeps saying he's firm on 5:30. He is firm on that. Something 5:30 is firm in that man's head. But it doesn't align with now Ronnie Lawson saying, oh, no, she was last seen just walking away from her home at 7 p.m. But 911 was called at 6:29 p.m. So the conspiracies in me are just taking over. But to me, it's like, I feel like she was done wrong from the very beginning, because if it's me, my kid, the picture that I want out on an Amber Alert is going to be the picture that looks most like her. Like, it's going to be the picture that was taken closest to the time that kid went missing. Because I want damn sure, that's my daughter, this is what she looks like, and every hair on her head matches what is going on. You know what I'm saying? No, I just think
absolutely,
it was done wrong from the beginning, and I don't know how people allow that, because if it was me, I wouldn't be allowing that shit to fly.
No, me either. And I want to tell you a little bit of what I read on that church thing last night. Was that their rules on children in their church is to protect that child at all costs from any form of abuse. And it goes into detail about that. And that's something I think is very interesting, because my question is that what they were doing for Summer?
Well, and now, I've been through the system and stuff, and a lot of the terms used is to protect from abuse, to protect from abuse. The people who usually keep saying that and throwing that out there, that's usually the environments that are handing out the abuse, if that makes sense. So that worries me to even see that be a thing there.
Quinny has a serious question for you. How are you going to handle Don and Candace after today? They are not going to be happy with this interview.
I don't give a shit.
She don't give a shit, y'all.
There's no handling them. He says whatever, and then I'm perfectly fine. But if he calls or text me, yes, I do respond, but there's sometimes where I don't. There's one day I ignored him for 3 days straight, and he was madder than mad, let me tell you. I mean, I handle him. I think people don't understand the position I'm in, and they think, oh, you keep flip-flopping and support him, don't support him. I just do really what I feel like I have to do in the moment, because to me, it's always about keeping them talking, keeping them talking. But I honestly don't know. I mean, I did block him for a minute yesterday, and then I thought, but no matter how mad he gets, for some reason he keeps texting me too. No matter what I say, I could say anything about this man. He'll probably still text me in 48 hours from now.
Oh Lord.
And so I don't know, like, should I block that? Like, I do feel guilty. What if I block it, and what if, like, he gets drunk and wants to say something one time, So it's a back and forth in my head, Quinny, and I don't even really know how to answer that, but
take it as it comes, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I don't really give a shit if they're angry at me or not. I have literally said to Don what I say, like, out in public. I have literally asked Don, where is your daughter? Tell the truth. Go in and confess. Like, I say these things to him. Just the other day, Mark told Don and Candace, they said, it's not us. Why do they think we did? And my husband goes, no, but it's definitely somebody that you know, Candace. It's someone that you know. They didn't really care to hear that either, but we don't care about kissing their butts. That's not what we're doing. People think that's what we're doing. We're not.
Yeah, a lot of people agree with you. I know. Pick your jaw off the floor. People are now agreeing with you. But yeah, it's very disturbing. What kind of drugs do you know that they've done?
Xanax, cocaine, marijuana, lots of alcohol. Whiskey is usually the choice. And I kind of think they do, honestly, whatever that they can get their hands on, but their choice is marijuana and cocaine and whiskey. But they say that out. I mean, that's clear to say. They don't hide that from any of us. So.
Patty wants to know, is it possible Summer got trapped in the outside refrigerator? The boys said they were playing hide and seek.
I've heard that before. I never asked that. I didn't ever ask that question.
Are they currently getting drug tested on the regular?
I do not know. I would assume if they are trying to, I would assume that would be a step that the county makes them take to be able, if they are actually telling the truth about doing certain steps to get their boys back. I would assume that drug testing is something that the county would have them do.
Mm-hmm. Especially Don, if he's on probation, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What is the latest change of the story or new details that you've heard from Don and Candace that you haven't talked about yet?
Nothing. I mean, I've told you before, Don, we've definitely spoken conspiracy theories, but he has said that it's nothing he wants to go on and say because he doesn't want to get in any trouble. But we have talked conspiracy theories about local law enforcement and TBI and stuff. But he said he was never, I was like, do you want to talk about them? But he was never comfortable coming on and talking about them, which I get. I understand that. But I'm going to talk about them. But I mean, that's just conspiracy theories, and it could have been him maybe even trying to say, like, oh yeah, I think this, and seeing if I would run off and go do a stream about it or whatever to make me look dumb too. I don't know. But he's told me that the police showed up there with alcohol and gave them alcohol right away. Well, and my exact words were, so your wife is reporting her daughter missing and they gave her alcohol? And he said, yeah, I don't want to get anybody in any trouble though, but maybe it was to calm her down a little or something. But yeah.
Do the parents have any kinds of visits at all with the boys that you know of?
They claim they do, but I don't believe them. They might. I think they do have phone calls because, again, the county and stuff, and by law, talking with your kids, like, they don't want to take that from the kids, if that makes sense. I don't think it would be any favors to Don and Candace, but it's because they want to make sure that those kids are mentally okay, even though they're never going to be mentally okay. That I think that, you can't just take mom and dad away, no matter what bad mom and dad have done or they've witnessed. That's not also healthy for them, these boys. Like the youngest I think is 9 or 8. So I do believe that they probably have phone calls, because even I was getting that with a mother who shouldn't have had that. Like I was at least getting phone calls. I'm assuming at this time it didn't exist when I was in that situation, but they probably have video calls. But I do believe they have that. As far as seeing them in person, I don't think so.
Because how did Don break the gag order?
Talking about the boys, period, and then breaking the gag order, he was actually not allowed to talk to his sons about Summer. He's not supposed to be talking about them, but he let slip that he did pull Josie aside and sneak talk, and that would be breaking the order.
What would be so important to make him break this gag order?
I don't know with Don, because it could have just been nothing really. It just Don being told you can't do something and just wanting to have the upper hand, or like, well, who are you to tell me I can't talk to my son, type of thing. I'm not sure what would be so important though, but there's a reason they say that, right? And Don's like, I don't understand, why can't I talk to my sons about their sister? Well, there's clearly a reason for that. They don't want any kind of manipulation going on.
Yeah, if they're being drug tested, their behavior says otherwise, because obviously they don't give a shit if they drop dirty, right?
Yeah, because they definitely were not sober on Tuesday night at like 10 o'clock at night.
So how early on did you know about Dr. Phil?
I knew about Dr. Phil. I knew that there's certain people that wanted him to do that, and that Dr. Phil had an offer probably, I want to say maybe like August or September. I knew about it like right away. Like it was always a thing. As long as I was talking to him, I knew there was a Dr. Phil order offer.
Oh, wow. So it's been a while in the works.
Yeah.
Did Dr. Phil offer them any kind of rehab or therapy?
I don't know that.
No. Let's see. Shell has a question. Oh, we already asked that. Are they still seeing the boys? Now, do you think if the boys were aware of an accident, that it would have already come out with them being in foster care?
Yeah, they definitely have. When it's kids like that, they would have someone come and sit with us, and it would take not just a couple hours, but this is something that they will do over time, and probably are still doing, where they'll have, especially with the youngest one, they'll have someone come and they'll be talking with them, but they'll make it feel more like, oh, you're playing games with this person, or oh, you're coloring pictures with this person, but really they're using their specialties to have the kids kind of let out things without really knowing they're letting it out, because it's less harsh on them than mentally, if that makes any sense. But I definitely believe that something, if those boys know anything, they have got that information from the boys, and we will never hear it because they're minors, and they're in the foster care system. Like with me in a bad situation, my mom and dad's situation, it got so bad I had to get moved hours away on a farm in the middle of nowhere and have my name changed. That could happen with the boys if they think for any reason that anyone would go, if someone did come kidnap Summer, well, they're going to protect these boys. Like, we might be looking in the future, these boys might not even have the same names one day and be moved in a whole different state or country, honestly, because that's what happened to me.
I know. And I hate what you went through. I hate hearing that. Because I would have taken in little Cher in a heartbeat.
Aww.
I'm sure you were a sweet little girl.
And you can see there's no family members that are able to take, like in my situation, no family members. A lot of them were not any better than my mom, right, to take me. But the ones that were, they have a fear, well, if you are with a family member, then so and so can still get you. And I do worry that that's going to be a situation for these boys, because Don and Candace, they do get angry, and you know, if they, yeah, I mean, yeah. From my knowledge, the boys are several hours away from Ben Hill Road. So
Oh, wow.
yeah. Yeah, my
Did you
phone
ever
sucks.
ask about the fake call to Mary?
Yeah. Yeah, I have text messages with Don, like, why did you do that? What the heck? And he just said, well, why do you think? And I said, I don't know why. I said, were you mad at me? And he goes, whose channel did it air on? And I'm like, wait, what? And it was Chris McDonough. And I'm like, oh, but yeah, that's all documented in text messages. He wanted to make his sister look stupid and Chris McDonough at the same time, and so that's what they decided to do. Candace went along with it because Don was like, well, if you do that, then Cher will think I'm arrested and I'll stop talking to Cher and whatever. So then Candace started telling people, oh yeah, we did that to trick Cher or whatever. But Don never stopped talking to me. He was like, no, this is all for Chris McDonough. So Candace had a different idea why that prank was happening than Don did and whatever. So
Yeah, those children do deserve better than that behavior. I agree.
mhm.
Um, anything else that you guys have? I think I went through all of the. Everybody agrees that Summer and the boys deserve better, for sure. And I'm sure the oldest boy carries around a lot. You know, that's so sad. And I know you've had compassion for these people from the beginning. I know you have.
Like I sure try, but it is, I'm human. I go back and forth, but the parents, yeah, they make me upset. They make everybody upset, but I don't filter myself, you guys. I don't, might look like we're friendly one day and then we're at each other's throats another, and that's just, I'll still continue talking if they reach out. Like, I don't know what else. Just because I do, I get that guilty feeling. Well, what if I don't respond? And, you know,
Lisa Manning, let me see what you're. Let me scroll up. Okay, so why is Candace. Okay, why, when Candace felt so fearful to file for POA order, at that time she felt fearful for her kids and her safety. Why weren't the kids removed then? It's a good
that
question.
is a very good question. I, I, that's a very good question. Again, just further proof how the system fails children and families, really, because they should have also been offered the proper help. Maybe they were and they turned it down, but there should have been help that Candace was offered. There should have been help even that Don was offered, whether it be domestic abuse training or whatever. There's things, at least in the States, I know that, you know, some men would have to do. And again, with her, she should have been offered domestic violence services. And those kids should have been, it should have been looked into. That just further proves to you guys how the system fails families and children.
I agree.
No, I don't let them guilt trip. I think that's where a lot of people think we're like, oh, Cher, I'm sorry, he played you again, he did that. I don't go into this thinking that Don and Candace aren't going to try and screw me over. I'm well aware of what they do, but at the same time, I'll go through it because, like, I want answers for Summer too. And if that's how they want to do things and that's how they want to play, I already know that's going to turn around and look so much worse on them. And it does than what it does on me. I know that they're hustling and playing games. I'm not blind to it all, but I'm still going to continue on with what I'm doing because they can just continue letting themselves look like assholes.
Heather says that's just trying to play their game and get answers. Well played, Cher.
Exactly. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Ah, exactly. Now I want spaghetti factory. I'm so hungry. I'm like ready for dinner. It's only 4:00. This time change has me shook still.
We don't do time change in Saskatchewan.
Oh, you don't do it there?
No, thank gosh.
So you're an hour behind me, right?
Yeah,
It's
3:23.
3:23 there. Okay, what do you think about Robin saying her and David went together the day Summer went missing? But David had been there earlier, and David said he went with her because he didn't know where they lived.
Mm-hmm. I think, why is a church lady lying? And I've got videos I'm going to show you guys. Like I said, I still have a lot more between me and Robin. That was only a 2-minute thing that I've released that rattled everybody's cages. There's a whole conversation I had with her that had her very, very upset one day. And she didn't know what to do with herself and sent me a video link. And it's all about the church and how they on the low are sex traffickers. That pushed her button one day and she didn't like it and she was beside herself and really wanted to didn't know what we could do about it, and I think she wanted me to use my platform to kind of combat that, which I did not yet.
Let's see. Cher, have you looked at the Facebook page for Summer? It's from way before she went missing. The friends list has sketchy people and the page is creepy.
Some people have sent me some screenshots of that, and the one friend that Candace was friends with on there is a super bad dude. Yeah, definitely all stuff I'm looking into.
Can you comment on why Dispatch and Candace's story seems so different, that the mother went for a walk? Do you know where the walk story came from?
I have no idea. I've asked that 100 times. I don't know why. And I even asked them, why did 911 say that you're going for a walk? And they cannot answer me. They said, I don't know. I said, so then the 911 operators are lying then? So that's kind of what I'm left with. They could not answer me on that because Candace just said, I didn't go for a effing walk. I didn't effing say that. And Dawn's like, no, she doesn't go for walks. So I'm like, so the
weird,
operator's lying? Yeah.
Right. The operator's just going to put her own spin on it.
Yeah. So,
it sounded like a good story to tell the officer. Mom went for a walk. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
We'll just fill in some gaps. Come on.
Yeah. So none of that makes sense to me.
Tim R wants to know, Cher, do you know if Andy hangs out at Don's?
Andy.
Tim, who's Andy?
I don't think there's an Andy.
Okay.
I
know
don't
you
know
mentioned
an
Ethan yesterday. You mentioned Ethan. Can we talk about that?
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, because Candace, I think that is the original plan that they wanted me to do and take and run with on my platform so that I could be discredited or whatever. But yeah, she had given me that name. We said to Candace on that night, we said, so was it Tuesday night? Who is the number one suspect in your head? Because again, my husband was telling her, it's someone that you know, Candace. If it's not you guys, it's someone you know, and you need to start racking your brain like, hello. And then she was like, well, and then she said, yeah, Ethan Wise or Ethan Wisely or whatever. And she spelt the name. So we took it down. She goes, research that before you say anything. And but she did say, are you live? So I think she wanted us to be live and try and put somebody's name out there or something. I don't know.
Okay. LFT Decipher says, please ask them about the phones used to call 911 and the phone call on Messenger, how Don said he talked to her on Messenger. the whole way back. She wants clarification on that if you can.
I cannot clarify that because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. The only thing I can tell you is that they have 2 phones each, and I don't know if that was prior to Summer Gone Missing or if that was after Summer Gone Missing. But they have 2 phones each. Robin told me that. Robin told me they have 2 phones.
Okay, so the babysitter story was on Facebook, and I think it's bullshit. I think it's just some person trying to start rumors.
I think I did see that once.
But Tim R is adamant about Don and Andy. He now has said, does Don and Andy hang out with one another?
Andy who? I don't know who that is. I'm not sure.
Tim, who is Andy? Says Tim R. Maybe they work together in some capacity and they arrived home at the same time. Who the hell is Andy?
You don't mean like Andog TV, do you?
Who's that?
Like he's a YouTuber, but I don't think he's in Tennessee.
Lori Kennedy said that Don doesn't think straight per behavior panel. His thought processes are not complete. I think his thought process stops when he gets to the point where he's supposed to tell the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're both lying still. So I don't care what Dr. Phil says or what the behavior panel says.
Oh, Jody Sue's hubby is Andy.
Oh, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Good question, Tim. We don't know. It's her ex-husband.
I was just thinking, is it Baltimore?
Who's Baltimore? Who's that?
Well, Jody Sue, when she would do her lying ass videos.
I've never watched her.
She would call you're not missing anything. It's a lie.
The only thing I saw was her on the news during Dr. Phil.
Yeah, shocker. She wouldn't use her husband's name or her baby daddy's name. She just kept calling him. She's like, we'll call him Baltimore.
Oh God.
I'm like, who the hell just makes up the name Baltimore?
That's why everybody's saying that. Oh, weird. Okay. Denise says, I think peeps give the Wells way too much credit in thinking they are criminal masterminds. Haha.
But
it's not just the Wells that are involved though. Like there's other people.
That's why this one's deep. And when he tells me, when Don, like, do you just owe the cartel for your daughter? Like, how much do we have to raise to get your daughter back? Like, let's figure it out. 20 grand to get your daughter back? We'll figure this out. Like, what is it? And he goes, no, it's much deeper than that. What the hell is much deeper than owing the cartel money? And then not answering my question about, is your daughter being held for monetary and political gain?
Crickets.
Right? Every time.
So apparently Jody Sue's been making videos on Facebook this whole time?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
She's crazy.
Tim says you have to watch those on Facebook. And then Jojo Littlefoot said, Jody Sue said some crazy things about neighbor kids on her Facebook before Summer went missing. Like what?
She said weird shit a lot.
Like what though? Like what kind of weird things?
Okay,
like
how about she heard a scream that was so bad, but she waited like a long time. We waited a while and did this and that. And then you know what? We thought, we should go see what that scream was a while back that we heard that sounded like something dying. And then she says, we go into the pond, and I go in the pond and I start right away doing the foot search to see if there's bodies. And I'm thinking, wait, what? And she goes, and I knew to be in the pond because I wouldn't be messing with the dog's scent tracks and stuff if I was in the water. And I'm thinking, why are you already thinking about all of that shit? And Summer had just been missing now for you didn't even know Summer was missing, actually. You just went out there because you heard some scream. Then they said they couldn't find Summer or whatever. But why do you already have in your mind being in the water so you don't mess up scent tracks for the dogs, and looking for a body with your foot in the bottom of the water? And why am I slagging down my friends? I don't know.
So she
Sounds
doesn't
fun.
like kids being loud and screaming. She got annoyed by that.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I don't believe anything she says. I don't really know.
What is May May talking about? Why you slagging down your friends, Cher? Something
I
going
don't.
on?
I guess I don't know. Ooh, which one? Don and Candace?
Reverend Donna is always right on time.
Mm-hmm. That's what made me really think more into the selling of her, and that kind of does align with a lot of the church stuff and everything.
JoJo says she was trying to scare people away from buying that property, and she said she would hurt their kids.
Oh, I heard that.
What?
Because they don't want randoms buying that property. There's like outsiders are not allowed there.
Okay, weird. Do you know if Don and Candace were interviewed or interrogated separately when they did the lie detector test? I mean, obviously they took those separately, but were they talked to together at all? Do you know,
He
by law
told me,
enforcement?
he told me when we first started talking that they did try to keep them separate to talk to, like just to kind of like talk to, but he didn't really say. I didn't ask him like, were you kept separate and interrogated or whatever, but he did say like when they got there, they were each talking like separately to different law enforcement officers. They were like she was in the kitchen and he was in the other room type deal. So yeah, they were originally like right away, kind of. I mean, taken away from each other, not glued to the hip, if that makes sense, but not. I don't know if they were like interrogated separately at the police station or anything like that. But Don doesn't seem like that type, to be honest. He doesn't seem like like if they wanted to talk to Candace, I think he'd be fine with her going alone and talking. It's never him that I feel is like the overbearing one and wanting to stop talking. It's usually Candace I feel is that way.
Well, you can agree to think she said how you can take it however you want. I mean, Kelly Bird says twice Jody Sue has referred to the Klan. Do you know what she's talking about? In one
No,
video, she said the Klan is in town, so get washed up and meet me in the woods.
yeah, I mean,
I
I don't
haven't
follow
watched
them.
this chick, so I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that stuff going around, but I watched those couple of videos. I didn't like what she was saying, wrote down a few things I thought, I didn't like it, so I stopped watching her. I don't know. I've heard people say something about the Klan. She was in my chat actually one night, and people were asking her, was she a part of the KKK or something? So I don't know to that to be true. She could be just making, if people are saying she's in the Klan, maybe she's just making posts to be funny, So who takes that and runs with it or whatnot? It could be that she's just trying to be funny.
Ooh, Amanda, Cher, you say you are going to show proof, but that
Oh,
never happens, does
that
it?
never happens.
She
Interesting.
shows proof all the time.
That's hilarious. I don't have to show my proof to people like you. And Amanda, I know who you are, bitch. Stop following me around.
Who
Stop
is
following
she?
me. She's
Who is
obsessed.
she?
She just loves me. She's obsessed. She goes everywhere and demands proofs. Demands I send her certain proofs of conversations between me and Candace, and prove that Candace confirmed with you, and prove this and show me
Weird.
that.
Why is she so adamant? Why is she that worried about it to follow you around like that? Who is
I know.
she?
I don't really care if people believe me or don't believe me. I don't care. If I was going to make up things, I could make up a lot more like juicier things than that. And they would bring in views for sure if I was going to do that. You can go watch my content. I don't just make shit up and come on my channel and say it.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been watching her coverage on this, she's showed proof on everything she's talked about that she has proof on. What am I checking my email on? Who was that said that? Vonda. Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, it could be just silliness, just to get, people on social media going and keep them talking and, keep getting attention from it. So I don't follow that kind of stuff. I just think it's a distraction.
It
Let's say
is.
if it was in the KKK, do we like,
What does that change
yeah,
as
like, does
far as
that
this
help in any
case?
way? Yeah. So, I mean, I just don't care.
It really doesn't have anything to do with Summer. Do you think Candace or Don or both are responsible for her going missing?
Yes. I mean, I definitely think they know something. Yes.
Vonda, where is this email? Because I'm in my email and the only thing I have is something from someone named Amber. Is that you? And it's about missing military women. I'm not sure if that's what you want. Did you want me to share this? You got to give me more to go on here because I don't know. Cher always shows receipts. Yeah, she does. She does. So is everything good on, with everybody as far as you're concerned? I mean, are you getting any backlash from anyone as far as, your change in status when Don told you goodbye? Are you getting did
No.
that sever any ties with anybody?
No, same as usual. I mean, we had we had people trying to get Benny to attack me, so we had a little fun with that today, but no, didn't quite work in their favor.
Do you think grandma knows what happened?
Um, I go back and forth with that in my head, honestly. I think, how could she not know? But
How could she not know?
yeah, and then I think maybe she was sleeping in her trailer, and um she's in a position where she could have been used, because I don't think Dawn and Candace care who they use. And yeah, so she's in a position where she could have been used as an alibi situation, but at the same time, I do think, like, how could she not know? Like, she was there. Like, how, like, you must know. I don't know.
I feel like they would have just signed her over legally and took cash under the table, Mick Jagger says.
Hmm.
Well, I think that we've kind of exhausted all the questions that I was given for you. I did check my email, Vonda. I don't know what I'm looking for.
Did I show proof that Dawn or Candace confirmed that? It would have to be like recorded phone call before text messages to prove, but again, no, because I don't record my phone calls with them. So again, I don't care what you believe. You can believe whatever you want, but that was absolutely staged, set up by Dawn and Candace to make me look bad. Don't care.
Read the screen. Read the screen.
Oh, or say, Cher, you're actually a nice person. Oh my gosh. Thank you.
That shit cracks me up. People think so wrong. Like, I don't know. We all had the wrong impression of you. I mean, I know I did, and I want to talk about your Strubel case for a minute. I want you to be able to talk about kind of what you did with that. Like, just give us like the Reader's Digest version, but like, how did you get involved? How did you find that case? And I think you've done amazing with it. You and the Mister have done wonderful with that
Oh
case.
my gosh. I was, so we were going through the Summer Wells situation, and one day I saw Ryan Upchurch was in my feed with Summer Wells in his title. So of course, I love him. Summer Wells title, I'm checking that out. So I go check that out, and he ends up right away, like, he seems very frustrated right off the bat. He goes, this, like, everybody's lying, the parents are lying. I'm like, have I not heard about this case? First of all, he's saying, because he's there. And anyways, he gets into this view of, like, if you really want to help your community, start in your own backyard. So then I literally that day started Googling local cases here. Like, I'm like, and I was pissed with the Summer Wells case not going anywhere. How am I even helping that case? So maybe I could be more help if I'm here and I can actually be boots on the ground, go to places, interview people, go to the last place that a person was seen or whatnot. Like I could do more if I'm here. And so Courtney's case came up along with another one, but the other one, the body was found and everything. And then reading Courtney's case, well, I have a daughter, Courtney. So then that was like, okay, well, I'm going to read more into this one. And then I read it and it's like, wow, it's actually like right here on our street. And 17 years, it's considered a cold case, but still very active. And I did one live stream on it to see, kind of what would happen. And then all of a sudden, so many people, locals, the family, they all just came to me right away. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm doing this. But I've rattled some cages and now Nicole blocked me.
So this was just a case that kind of like resonated with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was 13 when she went missing, and she went missing. Instead of it, she kind of had a rough home life, if you will. Mom and dad separated. He had a new wife. Mom had a new boyfriend. And it's a small, very small town. Nothing here for kids to do, let me tell you, because it's like oil rigs and fields, and there's nothing to do here for kids. So she would go walk around with her friends a lot, but with the rough home life, there's times that she had run away a couple times, but she would always check in with her brother. Her brother was her best friend, so even if she did take off for several hours, her brother knew that she was okay. But she wouldn't stay a whole day away. And so when she went missing in, what was it? What year was this? 2004, July 9th, 2004. They treated her as a runaway. But they treated her as a runaway for 5 months. And she had never reached out to her brother or her family. Her wallet and everything was still at home, and they didn't take it serious as a missing person until 5 months. So the case was handled wrong from the beginning, yet again in this case. And so everybody to do with that case was all kids. They were from 13 to 18 years old. So now they're all adults, 17 and a half years later. And everybody's been talking, but we were being kind of led to believe dad and stepmom had something to do with it. But as we get to talking to people, we're not sure how anyone could ever have been cleared all of those years ago, because they didn't treat this as an actual case until 5 months later. She was just a runaway. We have some of the friends that were calling in and giving false tips and sightings of her. And it turns out they said they were doing that to help protect Courtney because she had run away before. So the case was screwed up all the way from the beginning, from not being treated as a missing person, but just being said, oh, she'll come back, she's a runaway, to friends and people calling in with false sightings from in British Columbia and Alberta, and even some in the States. And, oh, I think she ran off with a trucker, and all of these types of things, because we're like 20 minutes from the border as well. So
this is in Canada though, right?
Yep, Saskatchewan, Canada.
So what were the laws in Canada as far as like missing kids at that time?
It's supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be within 24 hours it's a missing person.
And however, it went 5 months.
It went 5 months
Sickening.
As a runaway before a missing person. So it hasn't been treated good. So now fast forward to all of this time. Now people are talking, but people's stories aren't matching what they used to. And even people that have talked to each other all this time are finding out, whoa, hold on, like you told me a different story all these years than what you're telling these people on YouTube. And yeah, so right now it's a little chaotic behind the scenes, and I'm being told that people aren't happy that I'm looking more into the kids and the friends group of Courtney, and why am I not narrowing in my vision on dad and stepmom? To be honest, that's what it's been the whole 17 years. No one's looked outside that. So that's what I've been doing, and it's been rattling some cages.
I think it's awesome. I enjoyed watching the guy, the cousin. I can't
Bobby?
remember his name. Bobby. Yes, he was like preaching the truth.
Yeah, and the one thing I liked about Bobby is you can see when you watch the other interviews, other than Mr. Strubel, Courtney's dad, he didn't have to think about his responses, but other people are like thinking about it and kind of like, oh, what am I going to say here? Am I going to screw up what I said 17 years ago? Bobby's just like me, unfiltered, and he's just letting it roll, and that's why I saved him for last, because we knew it was going to be hell after he spoke, so we tried to put him off as long as we could, but we also knew it was important for him to be heard.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. You should have him on again. So where does that stand right now? Nicole blocked you, which was her
Nicole
best
blocked
friend.
me. She, supposedly her best friend, but that's not the. I have other people telling me someone else was her best friend. So what I'm doing is Courtney's birthday is on the 22nd. So since all of this happened, I'm kind of letting things cool down. I'm going to do a birthday bash stream for her, and then I'm going hard at it again. I just wanted to.
Aw. So she's a November baby too.
Yep, she's November 2,
And
November
you're a
22nd.
November baby.
Yep, and my daughter and you.
And my sister and my brother are
See,
November
where
2.
it's at.
All of our parents were very busy, like
Yeah.
around Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Okay, so Lisa Manning says, Cher, what case is this and where do I find it?
So it's on my channel and it's called Courtney Strubel. It's Courtney Strubel, and it's out of Estevan, Saskatchewan, Canada. It's a cold case, but very active. And I've talked to the head sergeant involved and the lead cold case detective on this. And it's funny, Courtney's boyfriend has only emailed me, but I don't believe that email actually came from Courtney's boyfriend. Yeah, it's all a mess right now, but it's interesting. There's lots of twists and turns. And if you go back in my feed, it's all labeled Courtney Strubel. And the first one is going to be with the girl that she had her sleepover with the night before she went missing.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But
You've
then
done
you
a great
have the
job.
best friend. Did you hear that part where the best friend was? I actually have her now placing. She went from saying she wasn't even there, she couldn't remember when she last saw Courtney.
Yeah, I saw her.
Yeah, now she's putting herself there up to 7:30 p.m. the night Courtney went missing. So it's like, why did you not tell me this from the beginning? It actually came from her cousin. So the best friend didn't know, but obviously I didn't want to have people here at the house. So I went to book a conference room at a local hotel here to interview Courtney's father. And the management there happened to be the best friend's cousin. And she actually let slip on the phone.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And, yeah, and I'm like, how do you know the Strubel case? So she goes, oh, this is awesome. You're digging into Courtney Strubel. I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, how do you know the case? And she goes, oh, my cousin was with her the night she went missing.
And you're like, holy shit.
Yeah. No, and I said, oh, your cousin's Kendra? I was like, oh, your cousin, because Kendra is the one I thought she was with the night she went missing, right? Nicole had pushed that so hard. And then she's like, no, my cousin Nicole. And I was like, holy shit. And I had to pretend like I didn't just hear that. And so I waited and I bit my tongue until I asked her in her interview, and she was like, let me guess, you're talking about my cousin, right? It's like, well, why wouldn't you tell me that? Like, obviously your cousin knows you were there. So tell me, like, when was it? So you parted ways then when everyone else did? And Nicole's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, so now we have you there. You're leaving the teen get together center. You're going where? She goes, I go with my friends. I say, okay, so 7:30, she takes off with Sam And Nicole goes, yep. And I said, okay. And Kendra takes off with her friend Satana. And Nicole goes, yep. And I say, and then you take off with who? And she goes, my group of friends. I'm like, okay. So you were all there together at 7:30. So that's now where I place the so-called best friend. And for the entire several weeks prior, this best friend was actually saying she couldn't remember the last time she saw Courtney. So that's interesting. And now she blocked me and doesn't want me digging in this case anymore.
Wow. So has any like law enforcement or anything picked up and revisited anything?
They said that they would
of?
be willing to, but in my opinion, I've already gotten the spiel of this is a very small, unit. We have a lot of cases, and to me, I think my next move is looking into is this sergeant at all related to anybody that's involved? Because it's possible. Because it feels as though the group of kids are being protected, especially with what I have told law enforcement now, and they're not looking into it. But we'll see, because Nicole also called the head agent and requested if she could go back over her statement that she gave all those years ago. And I asked her during her interview, like, did you go through that statement yet? Because I wanted everyone to know as viewers if she was giving us a new raw interview or if she was giving us something that she read a script for prior to our interview. But she requested that she could read her statement that she gave all those years ago. And I called the sergeant right away and I said, that's a problem. Like, please tell me that's not normal protocol. And she's like, well, yeah, sometimes we allow it. But we're being told by other people and some attorneys, like, no, that's not okay. Like, that's not normal because it is an open and active investigation. So I thought it was interesting anyway. She wanted to go and reread everything.
Yeah. I mean, if my best friend goes missing, I'm not forgetting a moment. I don't care how much time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
That would be traumatic, losing
And
your
I think
best
you
friend.
would tell me something too. If I said, Jay, tell me one memory that you have with your best friend, I think you could answer something very quickly, right?
For sure.
And she could not. Well, walking around Estevan. Are you kidding me, lady?
No, you would have something very like specific, like, oh my God, one time, like I would have so many stories. I couldn't even pick one, that's normal. Yeah.
And
well,
when
I
she
think you
says
guys,
that, I'm like, that just reminds me of Dawn. Like, oh, she would take my arm and twirl it. It's like, come on, that's really all you got?
Yes. Nothing personal. And isn't it weird too that he calls her like a young lady and he says she was an outdoor person? Like, who refers to their 5-year-old as a person? Like, she was an outdoor person. Like, what? No, like, I didn't know Gabby Petito or Brian Laundrie, and I would say Brian Laundrie was an outdoors person. I would never say that about my 5-year-old child.
Right.
Weird, just the way they word things. And then I wonder, is it because of just like their upbringing and like who they are, or are they banking on the fact that we think they're dumb? I can't figure it out.
I think that's what it is. I think they want. I think they want us to think they're dumb. That's how I feel. They play dumb too much.
Yeah, because Don is not as dumb as he likes people to believe. I can't say for Candace because I've never spoken to her, but he knows how to put the charm on when he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
And make you feel sorry for him. I had so much empathy for him when I first talked to him. And his boys got taken away. I felt so bad. And then I saw another side of him as time went on. It's just weird. It's so weird. Do you think that this will end up being a cold case?
I think that's exactly what they're all banking on. Yeah.
Sweet D said Courtney's father was very detailed with his fondest memories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I sit across the table from that man and ask him, did you murder your own daughter? Like, he should have slapped me silly, right? Like, he was holding nothing back.
Was that hard to ask and look at the dad and say that?
Yeah, because I was telling Mr. Cher, like, I have no business asking this man that. It felt very weird, but I also know, like, I have to ask that question because I want to know I wanted to know, does he look me in the eyes? Like, I just wanted to know
his response?
see his reaction. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Read the screen again.
Oh, Cher, I'm glad I quit listening to other creators bashing you and gave you a chance. I'm sorry, and thank you for your time and dedication. Oh, thank
Aw,
you.
isn't that
Thank you,
sweet?
downtown.
You really have put a lot of time into this, and I hope, I'm glad that people see that. I'm glad that Trina saw that. If one person walks away from this seeing that, then I'm
Mhm.
happy, because I think you don't get a fair shake.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, until they're all doing the same freaking thing, but whatever.
Yeah, I know. I
Well,
know.
I'm gonna hop down, but thank you
Yeah,
so much
thank
for
you so
having me.
much for coming on, and we'll talk soon.
Oh yes. Bye everyone.
Bye, Cher. Voice for Hope says this will not be a cold case. Thank you, you guys, for being so respectful. I know we had our trolls come in, but the mods were on it, and I do greatly appreciate you guys. There's still so many questions. I know. I know. So, you guys, I want to thank all the mods for being here and, taking time out of your day to come in and mod for me today. And let's see what's going on. What's next? So, it looks like possibly Sunday. I don't have a time or a day narrowed down yet, but JLR is going to come on and talk to us about the Moab experience. Him and Andra and Chronicles of Olivia and her mother were out there, and we're going to get a rundown on that. I just don't know exactly when yet. So be looking for that on the other channel. I'm going to put that event up. So you will see that probably soon in the next couple days when we narrow down, because he's got to get all his footage and photos and all of that set. So that will be a very good live to kind of hear what they saw and what they found out there in Moab. It's the Kylan and Crystal case. So we'll be getting an update on that. I don't think there are any suspects that we know of. Mateo says he outran the mods. So, anyways, I think so, Heather. I think so. I think we're on the cusp of that. So that live will definitely be done as soon as I can on the other channel. Oh, yeah. No, he wasn't there. On J is for Justice. Yes, Debbie. Yep. So make sure that you are still subscribed and hit your notification bell over there, because we will be streaming over there as well. So anyways, I'm going to get off here. I am very hungry. I haven't eaten all day and I've just been all over the place. So I will. Thanks, Jojo. Thank you, Jojo. She said we had you on our big TV every day during the laundry hunt. Thank you from across the state. Cheerio, Shamrock. I know, Debbie. Yay. All right. Good night, everyone. Have a fabulous Friday. Go eat pizza with your family, whatever you do on your Friday nights, but go enjoy your family and hug your family a little bit tighter tonight. I love you guys, and stay safe.